It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag BYU.
I try to paint the picture. These people are oohing and awing at the display.
Sears nails a three. There's a new NCAA record for three-pointers made by a team in the tournament. 22 of them for Alabama.
Historic shooting performance that was hard to overcome for us. We felt like we made a little dent and started going the other way, and then they just kept it going. So I'm not the type of person that just shoots to they shot it unbelievable, nothing we could do. Disappointed in myself and our staff that we couldn't put our players in a better position to find answers, but they made the plays and we didn't. So kudos goes to those guys. Now, in terms of our group, just extremely proud of our guys.
There's the head coach, Kevin Young, after Mark Sears sets a record as an individual. Bama sets records as a team. A historic night of three-point shooting, 25 of 51. And it buries BYU, 113-88, a 25-point loss. That was a heck of a display by Alabama right there.
Well, they shot the ball well, and there was nothing BYU can do. I know Kevin Young just said that. And they're actually 25 of 50 because Nelson threw one up there at the end of the first half.
And who cares about that, right?
Right.
And those should be taken out. And that's why people in the NBA hold the ball, because they don't want that on their stats. And those should be acknowledged and taken out.
Because they're about making money in the NBA.
There it is. There it is.
I just don't know what you're going to do in those situations. We talked about it yesterday. The law of numbers has never been on more impressive, incredible, drastic display, because Sears had been sucking from three, and then he turns into Sears Tower.
5 of 35 from 3 points over the last 6 games. That's 14%. He had nothing going, and then he had everything going.
Duke was high-fiving each other.
Because he's not doing that again. Nobody's done that ever. They certainly can't do that 2 games in a row. Nobody's done that twice in the history of college hoops.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I could criticize BYU. I appreciate Kevin Young wanting to say that, we didn't do a good enough job. It's on me and my staff to put the kids in position. Okay, fine. But it's just really not a whole lot you can do in that situation. It reminded me of when Jimmer was leading them into the Sweet 16 14 years ago. It was just his time. And for Sears, this was his game. I mean, Jimmer had a run that was consistent. Yeah. Sears hasn't, but he did. And what are you going to do?
He hit 10 threes in this game, 10 of the 25, and that's double what he had done in the previous half dozen games. So
yeah, I mean, their backcourt was 15 of 27 from three. Maron.
BYU, on the other hand, 6 of 30, 20% from three, but they had just shot it really well in the previous game, and this stuff tends to even out. The law of averages, the law of numbers, regression to the mean, all those expressions that math people like. I don't know what regression.
I don't think anybody was mean here. I don't know what regression to the mean means. I honestly have no clue what that means.
Well, that's why you were in the class you were in New Jersey, right?
Oh, I was an idiot.
See,
I was in Phoenix, and if I go to another state and take classes, I'll be in the dumb class.
Richie Saunders led the Cougars with 25 points. We'll have more on this game coming up in the next segment, question of the day, and all of that stuff. But Alabama, the 2 seed, living up to the 2 seed. They're where they're supposed to be in the regional final on Saturday. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Duke got it. They've got 3 seconds. Flag, deep 3 ball. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And a show of emotion from the best player in America. Cooper Flag just hit from long range right before halftime.
Anderson backs up near midcourt. Anderson driving right, goes behind his back, step back, leans in, finds Williams. Right slot 3 on the way. It's good! He tied the game! Williams tied it up! 9.7 to go. Hawkins will give it to Williams. Dribbles over on the right side. Williams trying to back it against Knox. Into the paint. Turns baseline. Pump fake. Puts it up off the glass and in!
Texas Tech and Arkansas. That was Williams' game winner as Tech went down and scored 3 times in a row in the final minute with the game on the line. They came from a double-digit deficit. They were trailing by 16. Phenomenal close to regulation. And then they win it in overtime and beat Arkansas, the 10 seed, the 2 long shots in the tournament that were left in the Sweet 16. The 10th seeded Arkansas Razorbacks, 6th seeded BYU, both out. I guess 5th seeded Michigan now.
You know, you were
the longest left.
Thoroughly impressed with Texas Tech, and you watched that whole game at the end, didn't you?
I did not watch the whole game at the end. I did watch the end of the game, if that's what you're getting at, yes. The whole game.
I could tell because you started this morning, Arkansas shot the lights out of the ball. You meant Alabama.
I did.
You clearly had Arkansas on your mind.
I had Arkansas on the brain.
Yeah, Texas Tech is a tough team. They got tough guys, and they just took the ball to the basket. Most of their shots there at the end were getting in the key and just making it go in. Simple as that. I mean, it was just so incredible. They're a really good team. I thought they would win. No surprise to me.
Duke beat Arizona 100-93. Caleb Love did what he could. He scored 35 points, but not enough because Cooper Flagg was over there with 30, and 4 of the 5 starters were in double figures, and Duke hits 100. And they advanced to play Alabama.
Well, when that announcer said Duke's the best player in the game, I think he meant in the game, not just at what level. It is going to be so sweet next year here.
When Cooper Flagg comes and the Jazz finally get the 1 pick, which they've never had.
He's an amazing player, 18 years old, didn't turn 18 until December. I can relate to that because I didn't turn 18 until December. Although I was a nothing, he was an amazing player. And just watching him do his thing, man, he can do it all. Falling down and he throws a lob to the bucket. I mean, there's nothing he can't do. The end of the first half, gathers himself, hits the 3. Yeah, I think he's the best prospect I've seen since LeBron.
And what do they have in common? As 16 and 17-year-olds going against NBA guys and everybody looking at him like, holy cow, this guy's unbelievable. And they're doing it at 16 and 17.
He might be the best college prospect since Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that.
And that's going back 30 years almost. Yeah, he's just incredible.
Florida beat Maryland 87-71. The Gators, it was close for a while, and then around halftime they started opening up. End of the first half, start of the second, and they pull away and win comfortably. So Texas Tech and Florida in a regional final on Saturday.
I did not watch 1 second of that.
I did not either. I just saw the scores going by.
I blocked it out. I put a piece of tape along the bottom.
Put a piece of tape?
I didn't want to see it.
You don't want to have anything to do with that?
No. Too much other stuff going on.
What games are you looking forward to today? Kentucky, Tennessee?
Diamondbacks, Cubs.
No NCAA hoops for you tonight, huh?
NCAA hoops? No, yeah, of course I'm going to be watching. What games we got? Does he got it on the list here?
It starts with Ole Miss and Michigan State at 5 o'clock, and the winner of that game will play the winner of Michigan-Auburn. And then the other regional, Kentucky and Tennessee, followed by Purdue and Houston.
The other ones, not the first 2.
Yeah. So you're looking at the TBS doubleheader. That's Kentucky, Tennessee, and Purdue, Houston.
Yeah, Mark Pope, like to see him do well, and then we've been following Houston all year, so it would be those 2.
Enjoy your college hoops tonight. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Missed handoff between Kessler and Springer, goes to the ground. Springer gets it back, works into the black paint, bounces to Cody. Hard drive to the window, and he outstretches the right hand and kisses it off the glass and in. Small pick and roll at the top. Green comes off it, now explodes to the rack. Blocked by Walker, picked up by Collier, bursting to the front court. Flares it out to the corner, it's Keontae. He wiggles past the defender, kicks to Sensabaugh. Left side 3, pow! Collier near side. Isaiah, cross-court skip pass. Sexton, wide open 3. Pow!
There wasn't a big speech. There wasn't a big screaming thing. I had the utmost faith in our group that they knew and understood and felt how I felt and how we felt, that that's not who we are. That's not how we want to represent ourselves. And so yesterday we got to practice, and when the horn went off, we immediately started warming up, and we just got to work.
Will Hardy on how he and the team responded after the embarrassing loss to Memphis, where they blew the double-digit lead and lost by 37. This game, Houston in control of the game, but they didn't embarrass Utah. It ends up 121-110. Seemed like that was an 8-point game for a long time. Houston never ran away, but it never seemed like the Jazz were going to win it either.
Hardy said he was proud of the team. He could have given that speech about 11 o'clock yesterday morning.
It had to work out that way.
The standard
it was too hideous.
Was the second half of, who was it, Memphis? Is that who they lost to? Yeah. And so that was the standard. And if that's the standard, 99 times out of 100, you're going to be better than that.
Because it was so horrific.
Yeah, so I give them credit, but I knew this was going to happen, and we were going to spin, oh, they rebounded, they really showed their character, this is who they are, they're tough. Okay, but the standard was so low that all you had to do was literally make sure you broke a sweat, and you'd be better. So if you want to praise for that, no problem. Praise for that. But that's what we're talking about here.
Except they're going to bring in 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, however many it turns out to be. And how many of those decisions, as they bring those guys in, how many decisions on who gets let go or traded or whatever it turns out to be, dumped, moved off the roster, are made because in the lowest moments you see who guys are and you're like, I don't want to deal with that. Whether you're the coach saying I don't want to deal with that, or you're the GM, or you're Danny Ainge, I don't want to deal with that. So, yeah, they moved off it, and that's great, but I still think those low moments help them decide, well, we're bringing in guys. Who are we letting go?
Well, they can let them all go for all I care.
Well, over 3 years, we'll probably see that, but who goes first and how long do you get to stay in the NBA? Well, or below average guys.
I mean, Kessler has a skill. He'd be there. Flipper, maybe. Collier. Sexton, I would love to see him stay around, but I don't know if he's going to. I mean, he clearly is an NBA player. But, I mean, he's been in the league, 5, 6 years now, and him and Markkanen have one thing in common. They've never come close to sniffing a playoff.
Right.
And they put Clarkson out there and said he's done. I wonder if that's it. Is he over? Is he done in a Jazz uni?
Is he done for Utah?
Will he never wear a Jazz uniform again?
Oh, Karl Malone quote. Pull it out. Yeah. I want to say that is true, that he won't, but I thought that a year ago when he came back, so I thought at the trade deadline he could be gone. I thought 2 trade deadlines ago he could be gone. I keep thinking he could be gone, and yet he's still here. Now you do get to the point it's an expiring contract, so it gets even easier to move him. Quick turnaround for the Jazz. 5-game road trip starts in Denver tonight. Tip-off at 7. Pre-game at 6. The Jazz are going to be on 102.7 FM and 1160 AM tonight. So find them in a different place on the radio dial. DJ and PK.
#NBA.
Left corner, Williams for 3. Got it! Big time shot. Patrick Williams, 9.8 to go. And then LeBron threw it away. Kobe left side 3. Yes! Oh my goodness! 6 seconds to go. 3.3 left. 117, 116 Lakers. Williams to Giddey over the midcourt line. Good, he goes. Midcourt. Oh! It's good! It's good! It's good! Bulls win! Bulls win! Bulls win!
Gave up a lot of threes in the fourth quarter. But still put ourselves in position to win. Horrible turnover by myself. Bad miscommunication. Play before that. And, AR still hit a big bucket, try to save us. And then, Tippy Haddison makes a game winner from half court.
The Lakers blow the double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. The Bulls score 44 points in the fourth quarter. LeBron referencing all the threes. They had 4 in the last minute. They had 3 in the last 10.1 seconds. And Josh Giddey from half court to win it.
Yeah, I think the Bulls scored those points in the fourth quarter.
The Bulls the Bulls 44 points on the Lakers, 119 to 117. And Chicago gets out of there with a remarkable win. The rest of the NBA, Adam Silver said yesterday the 14 tournament used this year's All-Star game will not return next season. He called it a miss.
Yeah, Yeah, I appreciate him being honest, but he's in an impossible situation because LeBron is refusing to play in terms of playing hard.
The biggest problem is the lack of effort. Yeah. So then the format.
The only effort. I mean, it's the only problem.
The format, what is built on that foundation, if that's not there, then what does it matter what the format is?
Right. So I think right now, if they want to do something, just change Saturday to Sunday and have everybody do that.
Skip the game. Yeah, nobody wants to do it anyway.
Right. And until LeBron goes away and a bunch of follow the leaders, somebody steps up and says, no, this is not acceptable. We're not going to do this anymore. Until that happens, Adam Silver is choosing from among the worst options because none of it matters.
Moving the deck chairs on the Titanic kind of stuff.
Yeah, so just try to – I would just go, all right, skip the game. You don't want to play? Don't play. Here's what we're going to do. And if you don't want to do this, don't come. We don't need you. I mean, is the league clamoring for the 10th, 11th, and 12th All-Star? No. Who are these guys?
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
The 2-1. O'Neill cracks this in the air to right field. Drifting back is Rodin. He's at the track. He's at the wall. And that baby's gone. Tyler O'Neill, his first Orioles home run is an Earl Weaver special.
The set and the 2-1. Swinging a high deep drive to right. It is gone. That is a 3-run homer for Andrew Benintendi.
Basically out toward right field. So there's a jet stream there for Shohei if he wants it. On 3-2, he swings and goes the opposite field. Left field, drifting back toward the wall. It's gone!
He's strong enough that if he hits in the right spot, it's going out anyway.
1-1 pitch, jammed him, hits it to right field. That's a good jam shot. It's on the track, looking up. It's gone. Oh, my goodness. Off the middle of the bat, Anthony Volpe muscles one out, and the Yankees have a 2-0 lead.
All right, from around Major League Baseball, the full opening day, the two Dodger Cub games in Japan aside. Dodgers beat the Tigers 5-4. They are off to a perfect 3-0 start, having beaten the Cubs twice in Tokyo. And Shohei goes deep again. That's 2 homers for him in 3 games. Is it just going to be storybook like this for the Dodgers? I mean, yeah, we know they're really good, but, man, 3-0 and Ohtani deep twice already.
Oh, we know they're going to win the division. I thought it was cool what they did. They had Ice Cube getting in a big Oldsmobile convertible, driving along the third base where it's not the warning track, but it's dirt, and he brought the trophy in, and the players were all smiling. It was super. I got to give it to him. It was super cool. He's a Los Angeles guy, Ice Cube. Actually went to the same high school, Washington, that my wife taught at 108th and Danker in South Central, and that was fun. So they lived it up there. I give them credit for that. And then, of course, they win the game.
Also there, you heard Tyler O'Neill homering, his 6th straight opening day homer. Call it the Earl Weaver special, a 3-run homer. 2 on, 2 out. He goes deep. The Orioles blow out the Blue Jays 12-2.
You like bizarre stats.
What do you got?
The Giants started their 19th consecutive different left fielder.
19 opening days in a row with a different left fielder? Mm-hmm. 19 left fielders for 19 opening days?
And if I tell you who started the 20th, you would not be surprised.
Giant left fielders. I'm going to recognize the name.
You certainly are going to recognize the name. There's no doubt about
I'm going back 19 years, so I'm in the right era of Giants.
There's only, come on.
Barry Bonds?
Yes.
Okay. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Go with Barry Bonds. All right, DJ and PK, the Bees are opening their 2025 season tonight at El Paso. Pregame starts at 6:20. First pitch, 6:35. It's on 102.7 HD2, and it will be streaming. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
We just need to make a decision if we want to be in the playoffs, if we want to fight for the playoffs or not right now. And I think this is kind of a punch in the face. where we got to take a step back and see what we want really out of this season.
That's Mikhail Sergachev on the playoff hopes after the blowout loss. Utah Hockey Club, the worst loss of the season. You thought 7-1 in Edmonton was bad, and it was. 8-0 at Tampa Bay. The Lightning scored twice in the first period, and then they pull away and win in a blowout. Karel Vejmelka pulled in the second period after making his 15th straight start. He'd given up 4 goals. They put Jackson Stauber in there, and he gave up 4 goals. Tampa Bay only outshot Utah 25-21, but they outscore them 8-0. And out of the frying pan into the fire type stuff, Tampa Bay's been really good. Florida's been better lately. They are the reigning Stanley Cup champs. So from Tampa Bay to Miami, Utah will go back-to-back tonight against the two teams that have dominated the Eastern Conference for the last 5 years. You can hear that game tonight, 4 p.m. pregame, 5 p.m. start on the 97.5 The Zone signal. The NCAA tournament will be on 1280 The Zone, and the Jazz will be on 1160 a.m. and 102.7 FM tonight. That is what is trending. There are the headlines brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. David Locke, radio voice of the Jazz, coming up at 8 o'clock. RSL Chief Soccer Officer Kurt Schmid coming up at 9 o'clock. We got the Utah hockey tickets to give away to see the Calgary Flames April 1st at the Delta Center. That's all ahead. The question of the day, the NCAA tournament at BYU. That's next. Stay with us.
Accessing. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G.
Will Hardy has been dealt a very difficult hand. I've had multiple people ask me, is Will Hardy a good coach? And I tell them, I'm not going to assess it until he's got a good player.
Yes.
Because this league isn't built of good coaches. This league is built of good players that make good coaches. Now, where I will start the assessment is when I hear those kinds of sound bites and somebody saying, well, what do you need him to do? Pass the MFing ball.
And that was just unacceptable. Pass the mother ball. Run back on defense.
You could hear the tone. Like, I feel that, Coach. I can grasp that. Coach Hardy, on behalf of the Jazz fan base that's been paying a lot of money to come to those games, thank you. That felt so good to listen to.
Catch Hans and Scotty weekdays from noon to 3 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.